coming. And with that, they've already on PRIES placed an early ward. They love doing this in their games. So they're going to have some good vision of what's going on with the Faceless Void.
That's really early and really far forward. It gives a ton of vision of him, but I don't think that they have the actual disable advantage of it, to be honest. They'll see a potential rotation coming if it comes from that direction. But I don't know, with the potential of the Time Walk, it ends up just being a casual ward that doesn't really give them very much useful information.
Yeah, at the very least, they should be able to zone the Void maybe more effectively than otherwise. I think something that's really scary, and this always comes up when Void is talked about, if he gets a couple levels, he's suddenly able to do so much, and you just can't kill him after he gets really level 3 or so. So yeah, that might be the plan.
And he should be able to get it pretty quickly out here. Into an Oracle. He'll be zoned a bit. Oracle does have a good attack speed, and he also has pretty good attack range, but...
Oh my goodness, this Pwn is crazy. He goes in for that snowball. It's going to be our first blood. There's no way out of this, and Odo will get it.
I saw him hanging out over there in the minimap and just assumed that he was going to back up.
I too am shocked. So, okay, well guys, that's our first blood. We're gonna get back into the game. Wasn't expecting that one right there. Either way, we are gonna be seeing Mastermind on this mid. Has a lot of regen to deal with fodder. This matchup, who do you think it favors?
Moving up here toward that, I really is going to come down to the rotations, I think, right? Because the Death Prophet should be able to harass out with the magic damage, use her bottle in order to make sure she has the damage output she needs. Alacrity still a very strong skill, and the Invoker is still a very strong laner. But presumably we're going to see the rotate pretty soon.
Yeah, Pwn is most likely dead again. Rocket Barrage will be shared by the creeps, but there's too many units around here. And Jarek's able to help out with another kill. So good work.
There we go. Now Jerax should be considering rotating down into the mid lane and help harass.
At the same time, Mind Control does take quite a bit of damage from that Fortune's End. He only has 50 experience so far.
Wow. Painful.
It's not unexpected, but he may end up having to jungle a little. And as you said, here comes Jerax. Where is the roll going to be? He actually hasn't used it. The Spirit Siphon supplying a lot of that slow. Mastermind doesn't have a way out. He tries to turn and do something, just eats his Fairy Fire, but one more auto attack. The Salve going to make it 2. He goes down.
That's exactly what we were just talking about, right? That it comes down to the rotations. Jerax came in at a relatively predictable but still very well executed timing, and Invoker just wasn't maintaining the mid lane equilibrium well enough to keep himself out in front of that.
They actually take down Mind Control on that bottom lane. He used the Time Walk, and you know he's only level 1, so it has a super long cooldown.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to not see him getting more experience out of this lane. The fact that he's still just level 1, that obviously hurts when you get waveform into and you have to use that short little Time Walk to try and get away.
The natural order, I think, is what's helping out here a lot, right? Yeah. It's amping up both the magical and physical damage coming out, so those auto attack harassment, the Spirit, the Fortune's End, which is definitely a sizable nuke, but just made so big.
Mind Control's actually going to fall back onto this creep camp and try to catch a bit of level here so he doesn't have to go back out into the slaughterhouse. I think that's a really good call. But meanwhile, on the top, Jerax is getting ready to move on Pwn again.
Pwn has a wave sort of coming his way. It's been side pulled as well, but I think he'll get a level here, maybe. Oh, and Jerax, oh, there he goes. He's going on in. There is going to be a snowball at the ready, but no, Pwn gets stunned up. And no level 3 for him.
Even a snowball probably wouldn't have saved him there. He would have just snowballed farther away from his tower, presumably. So,
and there was a creep wave, but as you said, it is not an oh no. He's TPing. He has to cancel his TP.
Wow. Now he's going to be out the experience from the equilibrium that he really needed. By the time he gets back out there, the lane's going to be pushed out away from his favor again. That's a lot more painful than it looks like on the surface. And Jerax rotating mid for another game.
Is under attack.
Yeah, there's not much Mastermind can do here. He does not have Ghost Walk. I mean, what's he going to do? Cold Snap this Earth Spirit who comes in to murder him?
Maybe. Fortunately, this time, he does have equilibrium in his favor. Makes it much more difficult.
Oh, and Mind Control on the bottom lane. He doesn't have a Time Walk, looking like the autos will be enough. Again, he's brought down with the Oracle nowhere near this time.
Yeah, did he time walk in there? Because it was used.
No,
It
he
just wasn't
time walked
used.
off some damage. I think he was just
Okay.
a little bit too deep. Derek's now taking some harass. There's going to be a Fortune's End. He manages to get the roll away, though. Taking some harass.
Nice little escape there. He not managed to contest the rune as much as he might have liked, but even so, forcing the Oracle out of the lane. They do need to rotate onto this Morphling pretty soon, though, because even though their Gyrocopter's having a great lane, the Void is not having a great lane, and the Morphling is going to reap those rewards.
Are you more afraid, though, of a big Morphling than a big Gyrocopter? The Morphling takes... Oh, okay, Jarek's actually missing a go in there, but now he's going to kick the rock on through the cold snap. Jarek's is going down here. Mastermind, he needs more help, though. There's no one around him. Ooh, but Fodder gets juked by the tree. Spirit siphoning the Forge Creep.
Oh,
There's going to
boy.
be a Sunstrike. I don't think it's enough damage, and now Fodder thinking about going back. Does have a Fairy Fire. Both sides decide to disengage.
They should both be able to heal up and re-engage here pretty quickly. There is the Max Quas on the Invoker and a Salve used on the
Oh
Death Prophet.
goodness, up on top, Kuroki has been caught up by an Ice Shard. He was actually trying to give it a go, but Elder Titan showing how hard he hits, taking a full Rocket Barrage and a Rocket Tail. Elder Titan's going down. Fade Bolt to finish him off.
Fairy Fire MVP, keeping Kuroki alive.
Just doing good. Oh, are we going deeper? Matumba Man, one more auto attack will get him pwned.
And in the mid lane, Jirex is getting ready for a roll in. There's going to be the Siphon.
Okay, again the roll misses, but the rock kick won't. Mastermind very low here, but Fodder unable to dive that tower. So everything gonna calm down. I think.
Yeah, for about 30 seconds or so, we've got some space. You had been trying to ask, are you more afraid of a Gyrocopter or a Morphling who gets farm? And I think a lot of that comes down to how much map control do you have. The Gyrocopter, if you have good map control, which it looks like Liquid will, is much scarier because he flash farms much better. But if the Morphling is able to sort of suffocate his opponent's carry by just applying pressure all over the map and split pushing, then obviously the Morphling kind of comes out ahead. So for PRIES, in order to maximize this Morphling's farm and really take advantage from it, they need to start taking control of some of these other lanes.
I agree, and I'm not sure what is... I mean, where can they find this space exactly? Top has been pushed in deep. We actually see the Elder Titan going up there, trying to work on getting some levels since that hero is so powerful, but there's a lot of pressure Liquid's able to apply with the Earth Spirit, and, I mean, Rubik is great at getting kills too. You can see them smoked, being sneaky.
They're waiting for a chance to kill Mastermind. They've been trying over and over again. They have gotten him once.
Oh, and that
is
is, it is. There's going to be an Ice Shard coming out. A roll in onto Jarex. Jarex is taking a lot of damage, but this is an Exorcism. The Sunstrike going to be going down after the death, and now Fodder going forwards onto Pone. The Dark Ladies going to give him a little harass, but 1 for 1, although of course Invoker.
Yeah, that pretty significantly favors Liquid though, right? The Invoker ended up losing that gold, although only 13. The Death Prophet and the Rubik and the Earth Spear all got gold out of that, and they should be able to apply pressure on this tower as well.
But Tumperman also decides to come rotate in. They really want this one, as you mentioned. It will cut off a lot of map control for the side of PRIES. And we'll see Matumperman going after Pone. He does have a snowball, but I think he's just dead. One more auto attack. No, he manages to wand up. Mastermind now coming in from the sidelines. They still have not taken out the tier 1.
Yeah, they actually did very little damage to the tier 1 because they're spending so much of their time rotating back into the tier 2 for some fight.
Yeah, and down bottom, Gadrock's doing some good harass onto that Faceless Void. Mind Control has hit level 5 here though, so getting very close to having that ult up.
And that's going to be probably the word go for teaming up, or grouping up, excuse me, with Exorcism. You're going to have the Chronosphere. Void's actually going to go in and use it.
There it is. The cooldown as well. Gadrox is morphing that strength, but there's going to be a telekinesis. Rocket Barrage going to be shared between two. Can Gadrox get out? The Snowball saving his life for a little while. He has the waveform away, and they expended a number of ults, and they're not done yet. There's going to be a Stomp coming out. Mind Control taking a lot of damage. We'll backtrack some of it. Matumba Man, he's gonna just wander away. Somehow everybody survives there. Oh, as I say that though, it looks like in mid. Okay, Monstermind just getting harassed actually. There is a Crypt Swarm with his name on it. The Sunstrike as well. He is alive! Alive on 20 health.
Jeez, he, turning around for that Sunstrike was a very high-risk, low-reward play.
Kuro gonna get stunned up a little here. Gonna have the Ice Shards though, so the DD is enough! Well played, Zenny got it there.
They need a couple of these kills to fall their way. Obviously, it's always nice to find some kills, but especially if you're about to be suffocated down, and the Death Prophet's about to have an exorcism up, ready to start pushing some towers again very soon. PRIES are running out of time to control the pace of the game.
That said, I think there's always the morphling factor we have to account for. He's going to take a while, but surprising amounts of damage can come out. A misplaced chronosphere, this guy can get some damage on it, although your range is tiny. It's really hard to play around that thing, as we've seen before.
Yeah, it's really going to be a subject to... Oh, Rubik's going to be able to...
Morph?
Yeah. He's going to be very hard to kill for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and that's just standard Rubik play. You try to get the morph, pretty easy to get, because as a morphling, you don't always want to cover it.
Using it, yeah. And the thing is that I'm sure most people know, but some people may not know, is that that's a permanent shift for him, so he only needs to steal it the once.
And there's no real downside. Yeah, you won't have armor, but the raw HP in most cases is better. And in this game, against stuff like Sunstrike, the fact that the waveform is burst, raw HP is pretty good.
It will definitely be better until 25 minutes in the game or so. At that point in time, the armor would have been nicer, but at that point in time, Rubik should have some items that give him agility or just core armor. Right, so at that stage, he'll already have some armor to make up for the loss.
Oh, Kuroki gets the Forge Spirit. I am really interested. How do you feel about Liquid's rotations? They have had Matumba Man. He's still farming decently, but he definitely could have stayed top, farmed a lot more. Instead, they're focusing on towers.
I think this is the right call. Remember, this is a strategy about making sure the Morphling can't split them down, making sure they're constantly applying pressure so that they can control the pacing of the game. And rotating the Gyrocopter out, especially since he had a great early game, he is getting tower gold, which means he's keeping up with the Morphling. I think that is the right call.
Yeah, they will probably get this tower. Jarex goes in for the deny, unable to get it, will just roll away, although they've lost mid, and they're not stopping yet. Liquid hasn't backed out fully yet. Tumberman adding some pressure. They got the Forge Spirits up as well.
Without the Exorcism, they shouldn't be able to do anything.
But the lack of, a favorable tower exchange puts PRIES further and further behind.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, no, you're not right. The inferior exchange on the tower tier 1 for tier 2, and the fact that the Morphling really needs to be able to go somewhere and get some basic farm. It does look like he's going here to open, just is going to slow down his ability to do actual damage as well. Yeah, he needs to get some space open for it. Maybe a smoke gank would be enough to get it, but honestly, it probably is going to require some tower push.
The Lincoln Sphere is really interesting here. Sure, it'll stop the Fade Bolt and the Telekinesis, and the Rocket, which I'm not really expecting to be a big factor. Spirit Siphon. It's not a lot of stuff, though. And a lot of that stuff you can morph waveform away from. Speaking of waveforming, he is silenced up and blown to bits.
And there's nothing surprising about that rotation. This is the last tier 1 available. You can see that Liquid are being very active.
Chronosphere onto the Elder Titan, but he is incredibly tanky. Tumberman doesn't have the cooldown, will have Rocket Barrage if he can get into range. Morphling the Rubik waveforms forwards, and we have a pause. Because Invoker has DC. This is not great.
So everybody on Liquid is stunned, but that's only level 2, so it's only a 3-second sleep. Elder Titan has a missile coming for him, so he's dead.
Yeah.
There's no saving
it's a level 1 missile.
But all 4 of these heroes are only slept for 3 seconds, right? So they should wake up around the same time that he does. Well,
really unfortunate, though.
He's probably dead.
Unfortunately, we have a snowball in, which will wake up...
Oracle's in the process of casting False Promise right now.
Okay, we'll see exactly what happens there. There's the false promise coming out. There's going to be a snowball, and Matumba Man going to share the Sunstrike with Mind Control. Matumba Man still so full of life. The Earth Splitter comes out. It's going to pull back nobody. And this is a completely lost team fight for PRIES. Cone going to just finally be the one to fall.
Power will be the prize.
Yeah,
that's that's a 1,500 gold swing in favor of Liquid. At 12 minutes in the game, that's a large swing.
Yeah, Liquid taking advantage of all of these spots, and while they hadn't gotten towers in the bottom lane, they have so much map control because they're getting rid of all these towers. Where does a Morphling fall?
Radiant's bottom tower has
More
fallen.
importantly than necessarily just
Dire's
where
top
does he get the
tower
farm,
is
the
under
Morphling
attack.
really starts to become trouble when he's able to apply pressure on objectives to force Liquid to make tough decisions about do we push or do we defend. But when you're...
Oh,
lanes
cold
are-
snap
oh,
in the bottom lane onto mind control. They're gonna just drop the cooldown. Looks like Liquid want to disengage. But Tumberman is full. He can go back in with a rocket barrage. Mind control kicked over awkwardly and gonna just walk it off. He's going in for the TP. It's going to be out before the snowball reaches, and I don't think they have catch for the rest of these heroes. RMM throws out the spirit. It's going to get the stomp off. Matumberman has been caught. Sunstrike will wake him up, and a bolt of damage as the Fortune's End is coming out. They still need more to get him. Jarex staying by him, going to knock him away in hopes of saving his life. He's got the TP. Jarex will sacrifice his life. Well played there.
Yeah, well played by Jackson, just to kind of hang out and make sure that he was able to be there for his teammate. It's those sacrifice plays that really make are one of the things that make the
Kuroki is
difference.
getting the kill on Zenigata using that waveform. He's going to get Warriors punched up. Will they even get this kill? He's walking out of the split off, slept up. He's going to go down, but can the creep help out? They need more damage on him. They finally get him. That's a dominating streak. Mind Control coming back in. Has the Chronosphere in 1 second, and here comes Spotter. Somebody's getting Chronosphere. It's both of them, and now the Exorcism just going to pound away onto Pone. Mastermind TPing out on the back line. They Yule's off R&M, so there's no saving this Elder Titan, and he goes down.
Yeah, that started as a pretty nice little catch on the Rubik, but when you end up trading 2 heroes, probably not worth the aggression. Granted, the Morphling is farming during this time. He will get a tower. This is exactly what a Morphling wants to be doing. He wants to be able to apply pressure on the towers and then zip over to fights as needed, but he's going to give up 2 heroes and an Aegis for it, so...
And what do they have to stop this imminent high grounding, right? This Aegis, it just means they wait for Exorcism and then they high ground you.
Right, it's just wait for the Death Prophet ult, right? The cooldown's going to be up very soon. Chronosphere will be up around the same time as well. And there's no significant wave clear coming out of Prius. They have a wave form, but Morphling can't use that to clear going down off the high ground. They've got nothing else.
For Prius, they are now over 5,000 net worth, probably trending towards 7.5k when all things equal out, and then over 4,000 experience behind Mind Control, who was up to a rough start. He has something coming for him. It's going to be that full Vlad's. So he doesn't have the blink yet. It's not super scary territory, but he's much harder to kill all of a sudden and helping his team out a lot more.
Can I just mention how much I love the Ether Lens build on Rubik? I think it's such a strong build. We don't necessarily see it all the time, but in mid lane.
Mastermind gonna take that time dilation. He does get the full promise on him, and the split oath comes up. Mind Control backtracks all of it with that time warp, and now Zenigata, he is the one being spirit siphoned off. Mastermind is still alive, finally not hit by that time dilation, but in comes Kuro again as the waveform, and they're gonna blow up too. They may have lost the Aegis, but who really cares? Spotter's happy with that, and now R&M fall into autos.
Fortunately, they should all be up by the time this high ground push really starts to get underway. There are 2 buybacks available as well, but once again, I don't necessarily see where their high ground defense comes from. Right? They don't have that wave clear that they need, and the Morphling can't even get back. He could use his replicate to get back, but he just TP'd bottom, so it doesn't look like he has any interest in defending if they push.
And even if he does, he is maybe being wrapped around on. Derax wants to give this a go. Can completely see the Morphling, but Morphling can see him too. They have a ward behind the tower. And that's going to be the end of things. At least they don't need to... the Aegis is down,
Yeah.
so that's something.
That's a big something. It's not small. It means that there's no hero that can actively just stand on the high ground and force an engagement without risking death, right? That ability to actually give vision on the high ground and tank on the high ground and force an engagement is really more than vital for an early game high ground push, especially when the respawn timers are so low.
Now, there will be should be an easy tower take bottom. Prius is grouping up as if they want to defend this. This is an area that's notoriously hard to defend. Zenigata gonna see it all.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And they
under
should
attack.
back out here.
They're going to see if they can get a good Earth Splitter, I think. He's scouting out. He's going to try to get a 5-man stun, but he won't have the ability to, so...
Radiant's bottom
Anything to
Oh,
buy more time
wow.
for the Morphling.
Look at this play by the by the Elder Titan, though. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He's not gonna, so what he's doing, sorry, I thought we were going to have a fight there. What he's doing is when it expires, he's keeping it out by starting and canceling the Echo Stomp animation so that it stutters the Echo Stomp animation. He can line it up exactly where he wants.
Yeah, a lot of Elder Titan is one of those heroes where with the Spirit there have been a lot of discussions about whether it is working as intended.
Yeah, well, what's funny about that is that didn't used to be possible. It used to be that if you threw down the Echo Stomp while Astral Spirit was calling back, it would continue to move, and then you could Echo Stomp while it moved through your opponents. And so they fixed that because they thought that that was too overpowered. And now apparently, I've never seen this before, but you can stutter step it to keep it out even longer, which also probably not necessarily the ideal working as intended.
Going for the solo kill onto Zenigod. He manages to get that false promise off and is now going for the TP into base. The snowball is going to come out on the other side onto Kuro with the Warrior Sponge. RNM has had his TP cancelled again, and I fear both of these heroes going to end up dead. RNM going for the stomp, manages to get it off, but not on Fodder, who is going to be the one to kill him off. And that's no Spirit. Pone having his own snowball turned against him by Kuroki. There's also Time Walk in front of him, and the autos should do it. He is slowing the movement a lot. Oh, they're gonna give it. Who did they try to Sunstrike? Doesn't matter. Mastermind silenced up. Also having the Spirit Snipe and Exorcism blown on him. They're so close to the tower. Mastermind summons some units to help tank with him. He goes down to the Crypt Swarm, and now Morphling in a bad spot. There's the Chronosphere for him. He's Morphing Strength, but it doesn't matter. They have a lot of damage coming out here, and a silence. There is the Lincoln being popped, lifted up.
There's no buybacks. This is a tower. Almost certainly. Especially with a relatively fresh Exorcism coming out. It still has a quarter of its time. Very well could be a set of racks.
They managed to pop the glyph, but they do have 20 seconds before the Invoker is back up. Exorcism's gonna go back into Fodder. Whether these supports have the ways of stopping it. I mean, they do have Stomp, they can delay things. Then he got it coming very far forward. Mind Control also playing with them, kind of. The Astral Spirit's gonna go back out, going for the Stomp there. Gonna catch quite a few of them. The Earth Splitter is completely lined up there. Nice. They're gonna catch a bunch of them, but the Time Walk immediately stopping things. RNM stunned up as well, and now Pone, he goes down. Mastermind is back, pounding into Kuroki. They need to get some sort of return damage here for how much they took on their tower, but Kuroki just earns up. Finally, Zenigod gets the kill on him. There's the cooldown from Matumba Man. Mastermind, Rocket Barrage with his name on it, but he's not quite close enough. Mastermind does go down, and now Morphling coming on in. Matumba Man blown up. They've defended.
Yeah, well, part of that was that the Gyrocopter Matumba Man decided to go for the top tier 2, and he was not pushing here with his team onto the tower, which probably ended up costing them the ability to grab this tower, but it did get them a free tier 2, right? So
tower is under attack.
Gotta weigh how much you prioritize grabbing a 20-minute tier 3 tower. It's probably not that high on the list for Liquid. I'm a bit surprised that they were unable to seal the deal on that, but it was a nice defense by PRIES and a really, really great Earth Splitter by the Elder Titan.
The Earth Splitter is an amazing spell. Yeah. I think the problem with the Elder Titan being the rest of his toolkit in lane, not always the best, but taking a look at things, 15,000 net worth, 12,000 experience, those numbers are going to dip back a little bit from the successful fight, but still hard.
Still an uphill battle for sure. We're talking 14,000 net worth at 21 minutes.
And
this is a... Oh, yeah.
He just died in the mid lane.
So, you know, there's that as well. He does have his Lincolns up, but as you had mentioned earlier, it's not clear to me exactly how that helps protect him that much. A lot of the stuns and damage that are coming out, like the Chronosphere, like the Earth Spirit Silence, and the Boulder Smash stun, those aren't going to be blocked by the Lincoln Sphere, right?
Yeah. We've got a Snowball and Earth Splitter. Oh, he's going to be forced off away. What a Kuroki. He's going to help out his team. Now there's a cooldown. Mind Control does not have the Chronosphere, but he is going to time dilate all of them, making it very hard to fight. Pone will get on out of there alive. RNM is just standing and trying to fight up Mind Control, but suddenly the rest of Mind Control's team is there, and RNM needs to get out. There's going to be a TP in from the Morphling, but he's stunned by the Stolen Deafening Blast. Maybe he'll be able to find Kuroki, but silenced up. He's dead. No buyback again. The Exorcism is coming out from Fodder. Mastermind is going to fall. He has silenced up, Crypt Swarm down, and now Mind Control just poking away at the rest of their lines as Fodder comes in. That is a tower in mid finally. Or bottom,
yeah, they're going to get bottom.
They're
going to grab a Rax here, then they'll probably rotate mid. Once again, we're really early in this game still. We're only at 23 minutes, so the respawn timer's relatively quick. Won't be fast enough to preserve the base, but might be fast enough to preserve the mid lane racks. Probably not the tower.
Yeah, I don't see, even if they do manage to get back in, most of the heroes on Liquid, pretty full on health, good amount of mono on a couple of them. I mean, other than Matumba Man, who are you possibly picking?
And they won't even respawn fast enough. They just narrowly respawn too slow. And we saw how little, how ineffective basically that Lincoln Sphere was with that teleport in. He got stunned, silenced, stunned, and nuked.
Okay,
With no use of Lincoln
and
Sphere.
now a 3-5-man actually, Chronosphere and a cooldown, that is it. That is, they're gonna call it.
Yeah. A really good showing by Liquid, and this game really maybe goes to show why PRIES is a regional team and Liquid is out there in the international scene.
Yeah. Really well played from Liquid. Obviously, a good showing by PRIES, but a little outplayed here. And also more conventional draft, you can say, from Liquid. Either way, folks, I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by the Wonder Cow. We have another game coming up, but that one isn't for about another half hour. We'll see if the teams want to start faster. And that's going to be Wombat versus Mama's Boys. Obviously, Mama's Boys have